Hi, I'm Sarah Jane from Natural Heating, and behind me I've got the Hunter Halo Radial stove. It's a big cylinder stove that is a true round circle cylinder, and I don't normally like that type of stove, but this has been an astonishing one to video, and it really has thrown me some interesting things up. And tonight, I think I'm going to do the end before I do the beginning. So perhaps for once you won't get so bored because I'm going to show you what this one does for party tricks. I kid you not, it does it for giggles. Lots of giggles. And it's been a bit of a ride. Want to see what you can do? I'm going to bore you to death later because I've done all the techie stuff that some of you want to see, like taking it all to bits, taking all the insides out, starting it from nothing on the ground up, and we'll give you a close-up look at it in a little bit. And I think you may want to watch this too. But really, honestly, this is incredible. So later on, you'll see that first of all, I ran it with the DEFRA stop in and saw how it controlled. I've run it for the last couple of hours this evening, till it was pretty much out. I've taken the DEFRA stop out. Look at this. It takes about 10 seconds to burn that air off. And it comes into check so easy. Now, when you take it right down, it does go low. It does go really low. I managed to burn this on about 1.5 kilos of birch, turned down on its lowest setting, puttled off home about 3 o'clock in the morning, came back in at 9 a.m, and there was still hot red ember in the inside of it. It was still going. And I wasn't expecting that from a cylinder. It was pretty much out tonight. So what I should have said was when I shut that down the other night and burnt it for about 5 hours on kiln dried birch, whatever, shut down and wasn't expecting it to be going, I still had the DEFRA stop in, not out, so it could go a lot lower. But it was immaculate in the morning, as you'll see. There was not a squeak on it. It was absolutely spotless. And it has just been so clean. And when this has got the DEFRA screw out at the minute, but if I turn that right down, you see it stabilises really quite quickly, but gently. And then this is not a racehorse of a stove. It's got a real nice burn on it, even when it's on high. It doesn't run away with itself, but it is very controllable and very clean burning. Now, obviously you can't take the DEFRA screw out if you're burning in a smokeless zone, and you could and you probably would if you weren't in a smokeless zone, because you can get an awful lot more control of it. Now, I don't think you want to burn it that low all the time. You want to bring it back up a bit, but it does give you a heck of a lot more controllability and power, because with the DEFRA screw in, it doesn't go so far. So at the moment, I'm going to put that to the low end of where the arrow is. It'll go a good bit higher. And I'm just going to show you something that blew my socks off, and some, because I've never known any stove to do this before. And I really do mean any stove, especially not a cylinder. I've got a good fire going in there at the minute. I actually put a fresh log in, so it's got some pretty good fire going in there. And if you turn her down, this has got the DEFRA screw out. At the minute, the DEFRA screw is that tab that's behind the door. And it's one nut that you take off. It's dead easy, it's not a problem. It's dead easy to get to. So there's loads of control on this. And I'm going to wind it to about 3/4 open. And I'm going to show you her party trick, because she really does have a party trick. Now, they do tell you, you never open a door on a stove when it's got a full firebox of logs or a half firebox of logs. You wait till you're down to chunky red ember. And typically that is very true, especially when you've got a cylinder stove. Because when you've got such a big, high, expansive glass, and this has got a seriously expansive glass, it's got a great big tall glass. There's a lot of gases got to get up that tiny little flue pipe at the top. It means you've got a great big open door. And that means it's like having 2 taps, if not 3 taps, going flat out into the sink. What's going to happen to all those gases is all that vermiculite and liners that's to push all the heat forward, which this stove does do very well, is highly likely to push out the door into the room. So there's a very high chance of spillage. And I like to put things through their paces and see how far I can push them. And this has got a good party trick. And it's one I've not seen do this well ever before. Not any stove, never mind the cylinder. So, your handle down at the bottom, it feels lovely. It's a really good firm pull, but it's quite tight. Try it for yourself and just see, because if you've got bad hands you might struggle. But this is like a designer stove. This is something that you're putting in for the pleasure and luxury of using a good, higher end, expensive type stove. But I can open the door, and other than a few little bits of fly ash, there is no spillage. And yes, the air control is 3/4 open, it's not fully open. You should fully open it. But there's a good amount of fuel in there, and there is no spillage. I like kiln dry birch, and I always test in kiln dry birch. For the record, I don't like burning ash. I hate ash. You can keep your ash wood. It's horrible. And the reason it's horrible is, especially in stoves with great big doors, ash wood gives off a lot of ash. And I will do that in one of my coming videos because it's like white snow. You open the door and it's like it's snowing. So if you want snow in your living room with a big doored stove, burn ash. But other than that, you can keep it, and I'll keep my birch. Oak and stuff isn't too bad, but ash and sycamore is really pretty horrid. I'm not happy with it. I don't like it. Anyway, there's no spillage out of this, okay? But on this carbuncle of a flue system that I have behind me that I use for testing amongst other things, and you'd never fit a flue system like this in any house. It wouldn't be allowed. I've got 3 fires all joined onto one flue system. So that stove is also trying to pull from these ones, which means it's got to fight for its living. What do you think happens if I open the door on this one? So now our halo over here is pulling from 2 flues with the door open, not the door shut, and it's still not spilling. And if I do it on this one, which is a Hunter Aspect 8, which has a great big door, about 22 inches wide, lots of air. Look at this. Look at it. It shouldn't do that. It should be belching smoke everywhere because it's pulling all that air in. It's pulling about 3 times the amount of air in that you should put on an 8-inch diameter flue on a 14-inch wide fireplace opening. And yet it's got about 3 times the amount of air. And it's just pulling. It's just, that doesn't even have direct air on that stove. I mean, the stove has the capability of taking direct air, and you are encouraged to fit direct air. But I don't have direct air on it. I've not got air to it at all. So yes, it's a big wide open space, but it honestly doesn't seem to matter what I've thrown at this unit. It's behaved, and it has behaved absolutely beautifully. So I hope you enjoyed the rest of the video, where I give you all the techie, nitty gritty, boring how to take it to bits, what to do with it, what it can do, what it can't do, except there aren't any can't do's because it's done all of it. I'm not going to try and burn it overnight. I'm not going to shut it down and run it for hours and hours and hours, but it threw me some surprises and it passed every test I threw at it. And for a cylinder, it's pretty blooming impressive. Would I buy one? Hell yeah, I'd buy one. And normally I hate these really rounded cylinder stoves with the huge big curved glasses because do you know what? To me they're nothing but a pain and expensive and a lot of money if you break one. And it even pretty much passed on that too. So, I'll let you watch and see, but Hunters, honestly, I have to say, you blew this in the park. It may be your first cylinder stove, I don't see it being your last. You're pretty much known for making rectangular boxes that are stand the test of time and the sort of thing that farmers buy, and older traditional type stoves. I don't really know you for doing really modern contemporary stuff well, but you blew me away with this one, I have to say. It's everything you could expect of it, and well, and when it comes to these spare parts and the lining panels and stuff on the inside, they sure are a hell of a lot cheaper than some. I'll be ordering some more, and I think my customers will too. And this one is already sold. I'm going into somebody's house very shortly, and they've said that I can go and video it in their home once they've got it in, and I think they will be chuffed to death with this one. Absolutely chuffed to death with this one, because I just can't fault it. I really can't. Anyway, enjoy the rest of the video. It'd be brilliant if you could give it some likes or some follows or a thumbs up, or even better, leave us a comment and tell us what you think. But this is one impressive stove for the money. This retails currently at £3,000, £2,999 I think it is, or £2,995. And honestly, I've known stoves that are a lot more money for this sort of thing that don't perform half as well. And I've got nothing bad to tell you about it at all. So there you go, ruined your surprise. But enjoy, that's all I can say. Just come and watch and enjoy. So thank you very much.